Okay, let me get them.
Let's just move a bit up so that you have enough space.
Where is Council?
Council, we are waiting for you.
You are the only one who's the
Council, my kid. Thank you, members of the press. I'm sure you are ready, eh?
No.
Council, you can address the press while you are here.
Okay. Our client was apprehended on Friday. And the manner of the apprehension was that he was merely pulled. And after being pulled, he was detained. Having been detained on Saturday, we approached the police wanting to access our client. But we were told we couldn't access him at that particular time. Asked as to why, we're not given any reason. They said it was administrative, as it were, and they would let us know. Sunday, on the very Saturday itself, we wrote to the police asking them to let us know the whereabouts of our client, because the relatives were asking where he was, and we also needed to access him to get instructions as to how best we could represent him, and so we would know what the matter was about. Came Sunday, we didn't hear from the police until today at about 10:30, when the police called and said we're at Woodlands at 11:30. Our client was only brought here at 11:30 today, and we have come to learn that during this period of his absence, the police went ahead and took a warn and caution statement in the absence of counsel. And amongst those that were interrogating our client, we have been informed, was a cadre, a UPND cadre, who participated in questioning of our client. Our client was never put in police cells, as it were, but he was put at an undisclosed place in Lungu. Together with him were his wife, who was only released this morning. She was found at her place on the Friday when he was apprehended. There was a friend to the wife who went to visit who was also apprehended. The garden boy was also apprehended. The driver was also apprehended. And they were all being questioned and have since been released this morning, except for two other people whose whereabouts we are not aware of at this particular moment. So our client has been charged to say he's an accessory after the fact relating to a murder that was in Mongo. Kauma? Yes, Kauma, I'm advised. And over and above that, he is said to have concealed a fugitive, when in fact not. The person that the police wanted made himself available. He saw a lawyer. He was to go to the police at the time that the police got there. But the lawyers that he had engaged were at hand to ensure that he made himself available. But what is disheartening is that our client has been subjected to all this period, a period of which was being questioned as regards things that were not related to the subject of the arrest, amongst which was where did the PF get the vehicles that they were using to campaign, and wanting disclosure as to where the vehicles were gotten. Over and above that, he was being asked, you know who related with President Edgar Lungu. So tell us the people that were close or visiting Edgar Lungu in the various places that was going to. So for us, this is a case of victimization, and we intend to challenge the statement that he was made to give in the absence of his lawyers, in that he is a diabetic patient. He was supposed to be on insulin. He couldn't access his insulin as we have been advised. His family, his wife, having been detained, he was under a lot of pressure, and they made him sign a statement in the absence of counsel, despite an undertaking that they would call us, his lawyers, to be present at that particular meeting. So we are disheartened that we are headed in this direction, and we're disheartened that now the investigations, or part of the investigations, cadres are taking part of it. We're wondering where our clients will get justice. We are happy that we'll be going to court on the 22nd of February, and there we'll make the necessary applications that we need to. But in the meantime, we are obtaining instructions so that we can challenge most of these things in the Constitutional Court.
Any questions, Victor?
Just to clarify on the charges, maybe you can just run us through again. What are the charges that the
well, there's only one charge, to say he had harbored a fugitive, as it were, a person that is of interest to the police, who is in police custody, a person whom he had facilitated to come into Lusaka for purposes of availing himself to the police, a person who has since engaged counsel to be able to go to the police for purposes of appearing, since the police had stated that they wanted that person, and he was to make himself available to the police. And with that, they have charged him with the idea of harboring a fugitive, or at least the offense of harboring a fugitive, which is not the subject matter over which he was being questioned. Most of the period he was questioned about things relating to other things as regards the leadership of this country in the PF regime, and not necessarily that.
Okay. Are you able to tell us who this person is, the person that is alleged?
At this point, I'm constrained because I do not have those instructions. In due course, we should be able to do that.
Who are the other two people that, whose whereabouts are known?
If the whereabouts are known, then I'm not able to tell you where they are. I don't know where they are.
Honorable Nakachinda. Thank you, Counsel.
Well, I think
so much,
for us as Patriotic Front, we are interested because of the continued harassment of different individuals. Now, even the ADC to the former president, in the name of wanting to find out the source of, resources that were used in the 2021, general elections. What has happened here should concern every Zambian, and it should also trigger the international community to pay attention to what is happening in Zambia. The arrest of the ADC, or the person in charge of security of the former president, is utter reckless endangerment of the former president's life. We will not be wrong to suspect that it was basically a ploy to try and endanger his life. Because I think UPND, President Hakainde, seems not to sleep as a result of his paranoia and obsession towards the former president and the Patriotic Front. This is reckless. It should never have actually happened. To have a person who is just basically a police officer whose job was to secure the life of a head of state being questioned over political activities and the source of income for Patriotic Front. There is a CEO of the party, now Acting Secretary General Chirangwa. There is a former CEO of the party, Davis Mwira. And all of us were in the leadership of PF, who, in this case, if there is any question they want over PF, we can answer. But in this country, there is no law that compels political parties to disclose their source of income. Today, I'm compelled to disclose that in 2014, myself, President Hakainde, Honorable Jack Mwimbu, Muhabi Lungu, Nevas Mumba, met in South Africa in negotiating what was to be an alliance in the 2015 presidential by-election. The people that he went to launch a book for were pledging to support that alliance with $25 million. The reason we don't discuss it is because there is no law that compels any political organization or grouping to disclose their source of income. So is it only good for UPND to receive financial support from their so-called well-wishers? and it is bad for Patriotic Front? I think these questions and this harassment must come to an end. When we wanted to enact a law that compels political parties to disclose their source of income, the UPND themselves objected to that amendment. What is going on this time around? So we're thankful for the continued coverage, and I think this must continue to go to the international community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, media. Thank you so much.
The number. Let me just I'll be looking for you.
And
Oh, all right. No, we are always.
among the six, among
with Anthony Mumba. Shosani must be open Anthony Mumba. We PF in a simple. Oh, you remember Super Severs, my independent. Massimo Severs, my independent.